Stevens makes Hughes pay for being off balance, gets everything into this left hook.
So there's an example of Stevens doing well on the inside. James Hughes feels like that's his office, but so far he hasn't been able to make it work. But he is pressuring Stevens as we expected him to.
First round, really, the Matador gets the edge over the Bull. And Hughes was trying to pressure too much and really just being reckless about it.
See, though, Hughes had his moments in round one. He gets a warning from referee Johnny Finia about throwing Anthony Stevens around.
Let him go, Jeff.
And the smart fighters who try to rough up their opponents will take it as far as they can go. Make sure they get at least one warning, but not a point.
Stevens working the jab. It's a very big ring, so that benefits Anthony Stevens, you would think. And now he is getting the jab working against James Hughes.
Hughes will need to adjust his strategy if he's going to win the fight. He's got to cover up more, really get the head down lower, and don't pay such a big price for getting in because he is an open target. And in this big ring, he'll become even a bigger target.
Stevens' jab keeps working here in round two.
And already blood under the right eye of Hughes.
Anthony Stevens had a chance at a world title. Fought Felix Trinidad, had Trinidad down twice, but could not keep him down and ended up losing it in the 10th round, largely because of fatigue. He could not win the IBF welterweight title. Now Hughes pressuring him pretty well and getting a couple right hands home, but takes a right from Anthony Stevens.
Hughes found one opening and let everything he had into it, trying to maximize the first chance he had in this fight to do some damage.
Stevens counter punches effectively.
There you see the angles by Stevens. Jab, then moves to the side.
There is blood from underneath the right eye of Hughes. Gashed it open, and it's swelling as well. So that's the problem. Good right hand by Stevens and a left hook by Anthony Stevens. He is ripping James Hughes apart as Hughes comes in. Great counter punching by Stevens.
The angle punching has been his ticket so far. The subtle movement, and when he gets Hughes coming in, Hughes is absolutely wide open.
Again, Anthony Stevens landing the jab and the straight right hand as he moves away. And that gash underneath the eye of James Hughes looks bad, as does the swelling, and Stevens goes after him here in round two. So round two, a banner round for Stevens, and as we check into James Hughes' corner, they've got some problems.
Please don't open. James, listen to me. James, when you go down under that right hand, come up with the hook. You got to stay in his body these first 5 or 6 rounds.
Stevens has it going in round two. The jab, the right hand missing behind it, but the stick, as they call the jab, has been very significant for him. Stays on the outside, the jab setting up his overhand right. He timed that one perfectly. And again, by showing the left hand, he's able to land the right.
And typically of Anthony Stevens, he comes back with another punch after the right hand. We head into round three. This one is scheduled for 12 for the USBA welterweight title, which is held by Anthony Stevens. It was on the left of your screen. James Hughes, 29-year-old from Mobile, Alabama, wants the title, and instead, for all his aggression, he is getting counterpunched continuously. Look at the punches in round two. Stevens well over 50%.
And that's in basically a counter-punching mode throughout because Hughes keeps coming in. Stevens is waiting for Hughes to totally commit himself in that straightforward attack, and then he opens completely up. There are better ways to fight Stevens' speed than Hughes is showing. He's leading recklessly. He's got to get down low, cover himself up, and pound the body. Don't pay such a big price to get inside.
Stevens both of those first 2 rounds.
And fairly convincingly. He's got the style and right now the speed and numbers to back him up.
Hughes trying to rough Stevens up, and Stevens comes back with a left hook, and Anthony Stevens using his heads pretty well.
Smothers Hughes, and he's discouraging Hughes here.
Stevens working the left hook there to the body. Anthony Stevens opening up the cut again underneath the eye of Hughes.
And it's bothering Hughes to some degree. He is showing it. He's coming forward, but the eye has his attention.
There you see Hughes cutting off the ring effectively, but couldn't get anything done offensively. Well, we told you at the beginning James Hughes was a tough customer. He's showing that. He's taking a lot of big punches from Stevens. It's cut under the eye, but he keeps coming.
And he's taking all these punches while he's moving forward. And when he gets close enough, rather than allow him to go to the body, Stevens smothers him. So basically, it's at least a standoff on the inside. On the outside, Stevens is king.
Under a minute left to go in round 3 on this 12-rounder. And Anthony Stevens having things his own way. There you see him land a jab. Keeping things on the outside, Stevens effective. Again, the right hand gets home.
Able to land and then move. Hughes only able to move straight ahead.
So as round 3 comes to a close, Stevens does what he's been doing, landing good counter punches, and Hughes keeps on coming, but for how long, we'll see.